Hello, hello, all you very beautiful, sexy people. We are just getting set up right now for the game. We got Glory v. Boston. So that's right. Awesome sauce. Let me go ahead and unmute my good friend and co-caster of the game today, so he doesn't get confused as to why he's not hearing anything. Rambino, where are you, my good sir? Otherwise, it'd be awkward. I wouldn't be able to do this by myself. So, Rambino, you have been summoned.
Hello.
Awesome sauce. Now, did you get in the game?
Yes, I just need to be swapped to spectator.
Cool. Rambino to spec. I'm sorry, Rambino 464. Yes. Actually, I remember to actually open up a window of chat for the OWCC. I usually just have my chat open because I'm hosting it. I'll make sure I get theirs too. Yeah, they're live. 13 people, you beautiful people, are watching this fantastic thing that's going on. So I'll pause that. I'm gonna pop this out. Pop this sucker out. Oh, please don't do that. Please don't freeze up in my face. Wonderful. Again, guys, we're on a delay, so I do apologize if you're like, oh, you're not paying attention to me. Well, that's just the nature of how things work. Very funny. Yeah. Rambo. I said Rambino, and his name is Rambo in the game. Totally different. Yeah. Sorry. Rambo 464. Well, you know. Same thing. Thank you, Moya. Again, you're probably seeing this 2 minutes after I said that, but yeah, thank you. If I could actually move him myself, that'd be perfect. I cannot. There we go. Perfect. Now, Rambino, have I been lagging at all?
No, you're fine. You sound fine to me.
Okay, good. Just double checking. Let me make sure I have you turned up, just in case. Yep. Got you at my 200% as usual. I wonder if my volume mixer is just... It has... Maybe Discord's just really, really low. Oh, man. I had two things I could do for that. I did that. We'll do that. Perfect. Okay. So many messages. Oh. Very cool. Guys, so if you're watching the stream right now for Glory versus Downsizing, below, our fantastic Super King Nick has put down a little link to let you know the two people who are casting tonight. I need to make sure he knows that my co-caster is not Sci-Fi, because that's not who I said. It is the childish Rambino.
In the flesh.
Now, luckily, don't be deceived. If you look to my right, my right, your right of the screen, you will see his little thing underneath, and it actually gives you his Twitch channel, because I spelt it, I hopefully correctly. It's just childish, twitch.tv/childishrambino.
That is correct.
And Moya, you're welcome, sir. Absolutely welcome. Not a problem. Not a problem. Now, do you have a Twitter, Rambino?
I do. Unfortunately, though, it is not Childish Rambino, as I could not find the Twitter handle. It is already in use, so it is a little more complicated, and I'd rather people just find it on the Twitch panel, since people can mistype it and they'll get confused. It happens.
So there you go, guys.
No big
just
deal.
Make sure you just go follow Rambino, and then you can find his Twitter handle through that. I understand that very much, because as I was making this entire thing, Rambino. or Rambo in game. I was struggling to make sure I could get Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube all be the same thing, because it is a pain in the butt. If you're trying to follow somebody, you're trying to build a community, and you have like 3 different social medias, but 3 of them are all different. Yay. And they're doing a tribute to London, because again, guys, the London Rip Tires, I believe, are going to be stepping down from the OWCC, going off to do their own special things. So that's why you see a lot of people in chat in the game, even though they're not on London's team, they're actually switching their icons to be nice and lovely. Oh my gosh. I'm looking at what the first map looks like it's going to be. We haven't been able to do this in so long. Wow. It's not Hanamura. That's all I can say. It's just not Hanamura. That makes it so much. Yes. And sorry, guys, you're going to hear a jingle because someone on my channel donated 100 bits for charity, and I put an ornament in my beard. So if you hear a jingle, that's what that's from. Deal with it. But let's make sure we got the names down. Legion, Foon, Arc, Alpha, Typhoid, Zero, Nocturnal, Miglet Boy. Oh, Miglet. Soups, Yeti, Lord Cronid. I don't know how you, like, Cronid. I'm just going to call it Lord Cronid. That's what I've been saying. There's a full other different name he has in Discord. It's a little different. It's fine. Scurry Louie and Artillatron. We have some people ready. We have some things ready. Rambino, are you ready?
I was born ready.
What does that even look like? When you come out of the womb, do you actually, like, are you dressed in a suit and you're saying, like, am I going to school yet? Or where, like, when's what? What does that look like when you were born ready?
Well, if the look suits me, then I shall, in fact, wear what you say.
Thank you, Rambino. Rambino, ladies and gentlemen. Childish Rambino. Now, Typhoid has had a slight issue with his connection. Luckily, since he wasn't in-game to delay the game, it doesn't count as a timeout. Oh my gosh, and Lord Cronid double-checking, just in case, that the custom game is in competitive mode. If this was in quick play mode, it would just end. And it'd be a pain in the butt to just restart it again. We've had that happen several games before. And yes, skins are disabled, so everyone's going to have to be using the default skin or possibly even their OWL counterpart. So I believe the Boston Downsizing can use the Boston Uprising skins. Same thing for Glory and Gladiators. Moya, Rambino's beautiful face will probably only happen when I'm not the main streamer, because my computer is a potato and it can't deal with all the processes needed to capture such glorious handsomeness that is Childish Rambino's face. I know you want to see it, and I actually feel that would break the stream if we had so much gorgeous in one place. So I understand your desire, but it's not going to be able to. It's not going to happen here today. Tomorrow's game might be in luck. But coming out first, we usually see Hanamura as the first 2-cap or assault, or however you want to call it, map, because the choke's different in the front. It's more or less what we consider kind of balanced. It's almost a favorite of the OWCC, in my opinion. And now we get to do Anubis. I actually like Anubis a little better because of the different defensive positions and the different attack ways you can do that are used. There are about the same number of attack directions you can do on Hanamura, but you usually only see 1, maybe 2. On this one, you see that you can go from the left, you can go down the middle, you can go down the right high, you can go down the right middle. There's And you can actually, there's several different shortcuts that are available that are utilized by the attacking team, and that's why I like Anubis slightly more than Hanamura. How about you, Rambino?
Well, I definitely prefer Hanamura in terms of just flank possibilities. There's definitely some creative avenues you can actually take. You can go straight to the point, you can flank it, or a mixture of both, and I enjoy that immensely.
Absolutely. Here on defense, again, top left is your LA Glory. They're going to be defending first Legion, Foon, Arc, Alpha, Typhoid, and Nocturnal. They're going to be doing the 3-3 build of awesomeness. Well, what's attack looking? A little different, wouldn't you say, Rambino?
Definitely creative, if nothing else. That Sombra could be very dangerous.
Yeah, Miglet Boy on that Sombra, see what they can do. Soups is going to be trying to snipe some fools. But we got Yeti and Artilla trying to be your dive tanks. Lucio and Anna going to be your healers. As they're looking for, they're going to go ahead and actually wait for Soups to maybe give us some more information. Because we do see Miglet Boy saying, I don't think Sombra is going to be able to work very well. But they are going to go forward. Looks like something. They're trying to debate if they're going to go high or low because the defensive team are holding the very top right. And they're going to slowly start poking. Again, both these teams not very good at long range except for Soups. So hoping Soups can find a pick, thread the needle and find a pick through the armor. Nocturnal is going to get the first blood on Yeti. And that is, again, the defensive team is then up 1. So the attacking team is already down. They're already deciding to hold back just a little bit, but because there's not a lot of mobility on the defensive side. Only D.Va can actually go up and down to the high ground. So they're not fearing too much as they're waiting for Yeti to come back. Switched off the Winston onto a Reinhardt so they can push forward a little more strong. A lot of poke damage coming out from the defensive side, so we're hoping to see what they can do here. Now the entire defensive side has actually gotten here on the bottom, so if they want to push forward, Rally already coming out. Altriltron diving forward, just in that one D.Va to the face makes the rest of their team go back. Soups finds the pick on Alpha. That's going to be the opening they need as they go push on to the point. Here comes that Anna boost on to Yeti, and a grab comes out from Glory. Eva Bomb is not going to be enough to kill. Nerf this comes out here from the other team. Does get a Legion falls. Yeti does get the Fire Strike kill onto Arc. Yeti just swinging his hammer as best he can. Actually swinging his hammer mostly into his own team. Here Shatter comes down. 3 members down. Food Nocturnal. And then Typhoid hit out his mech and then it's cleaned up. That's going to be a cap. Second attempt up here for our Boston Downsizing team.
And with a quick update to the alts economy here, Boston Downsizing will be down with 3 alts in favor of LA Glory and only 1, that Dragon Blade, or the Genji on Boston Downsizing.
Looks like Alpha has switched off, trying to contest this Widow that was able to kind of open it up by killing off that Brig that last fight, and has won the first 1v1 Widow battle. But they're going to probably... You don't have to work so much to wait for the Widow to get in a position after rezzing. So they are going to deciding to push forward already. Yuji no Kaioken and dashing forward. Anna boost coming out as well. Got to be countered by the Genji, or countered by the Lucio. But the Shatter comes out. 3 members down. Foon gets the pick on Artillotron. Yeti falls as well to 0. Oh, and it's just a bunch of Glory able to clear up the double combo onto the point. And they're going to push back. And that's going to be a reset for Boston.
I'm going to have to predict some swaps coming in, and just as I said that, Soups picked Tracer only because that team comp they were running is only effective really for the first point. A Widow is not going to help much on the second point.
Exactly. See if Alpha is going to be trying to switch on the defensive side, maybe to counter the 2 very strong flanking members of Boston, as they're going as a team to the far left and making sure that the Widow has no sight lines. Miglet Boy, Soups here, they're all going as a team, not necessarily flanking, but they're going to probably go together and dash forward when they can. Yeti does have a Shatter. Shatter comes down! 3 members, 4 members down on the ground. A counter D.Va Bomb does come out, finds Lord Cronid, but Lord Cronid did get Arc before that died. Yeti has been Anna boosted, going onto the point, swinging. Yeti finds a pick onto Legion. Typhoid's here, diving in the back line of Boston. Looking for some more picks. Artillotron does get Typhoid out of the mech. Screwy Louie finds a grenade onto him as he comes out. Miglet Boy getting a kill onto Foon. A grab comes out in favor of Glory. That does allow for the 2 picks from Alpha. Artillotron and Screwy Louie fall down. Nocturnal actually accidentally killing himself with his right click, but there's still a fight here. 3 people on the point right now. Yuji no Kaioken. Miglet Boy uses his blade to get Legion. Trying to get the Lucio, who is going to be contesting very well. We got a Nocturnal has gone onto the hamster. A Shatter comes down again. 2 members on the ground. A charge comes through. The charge pins the hamster and just swats the other Reinhardt off the side. It does 50 damage when it's not directly pinning you, so it does still hurt. Yeti getting that 3rd kill onto Alpha, just swinging his hammer. Lucio doesn't get his ult off. Foon is destroyed before he's able to reach the ground. A huge shatter from Arc, knocking down almost the entire team of Boston. They're gonna be he's gonna be charged off the point right now. Nocturnal trying to do a good job of just getting it. They still haven't gotten a tick yet. We got Miglet Boy getting Nocturnal, Arc getting down from Artillatron. Swinging his hammer, getting it Legion one more time. It is just D.Va here, Lucio here on the point as well. Grab comes out, just trying to make sure nobody else can stall, but it's not going to catch anyone. Foon, being the Lucio that he is. Alpha has switched on to a Tracer to continue to stall. They did get their first tick, but the respawn timer is continuously going up for Glory. Minefield comes out, not going to find anybody, but it is zone out most of the point. Yeti is knocked down again from another ult from Arc. Alpha does get Yeti with the Pulse Bomb. Screely does get Foon. This is one of the longest fights I've seen on Anubis Point B. Typhoid does find Miglet Boy from that D.Va Bomb. Soup's doing a lot of... They're all doing fantastic jobs of staying alive and getting the point. And right now, Glory is getting the momentum back, and they are actually going to hold it after 38.1%. Now I want to say like a 5-minute fight.
Now what? Not only was that aggressive on both sides, it felt as if it were lambs to the slaughter for Boston Downsizing. And then somehow Glory just took it back with just one big concentrated push, and it actually can happen like that, especially on this certain map point. As I personally love those 2 sides that you can hide behind right by that sarcophagus.
Now, if this were happening to me in a game, I'd say, don't worry, guys, it won't be a tie, because they did get a tick. That means it will not be a draw map. They're going to go ahead and push forward on the left again, coming forward. No, the Eugene Kill came from Miglet Boy. Does get Ana boosted. Does not get the Ana boost. But got Coalescence come out to start trying to support. Is going to get Arc down on the ground. Soups who has switched off on both Brigittas on both sides. It's a lot of Boston killing a lot of Glory right now. Typhoid in right now is still Foon. Foon is still on the point as the Lucio. See how much he can stall. Is going to be taken out this time. Going for 2 ticks. They do have 2 ticks. They have 2 people coming here. A grab is used to keep Arc off the point, but Nocturnal wisely uses the other side to get on and continue to contest. Alpha falls to Artillatron. Coalescence comes out from the defending side. More or less staying alive. That does a lot of damage and healing to himself. Typhoid does get a nerf. This coming out is going to make them get off the point more than anything. Cronid winning the battle of the Lucios. Yeti going to take down the hamster. And Typhoid both. And a huge shatter from Yeti knocks the remaining members of them off. And that's going to be a final cap. 2 points go on the first round to Boston Downsizing.
If nothing else, I definitely enjoy watching the Clash of the Titans. Those Reinhardts going back and forth, watching both teams just struggling to fight the other off.
And they certainly did. That was a great defense coming out from Glory. I was not expecting them to actually hold that, because again, the longer you are an offensive player is on that second point, after about 10 seconds, the respawn timer for the defenders ticks up. So instead of 10 seconds, goes to 11, goes to 12, goes to 13. And Boston was on that for a while. So the respawn timers for the defending Glory that round were exceptionally high. So them being able to actually take it back was very impressive. And it is going to be Boston that does get the full 2 cap. They have 1 minute and 2 seconds left on their push. But here they're going to be switching sides. Defending is going to be Boston Downsizing. And on attack is going to be the LA Glory.
Now, there's no Ana for Boston Downsizing. But if there was, would Reinhardt say, "Are you Yeti"?
I think he would. Yes, sure. Right. Anyway, on defense, coming out from Boston, they're going to be doing a kind of a variation of what you saw the Glory do. They're going to be doing 3 and 3. And what that means is there are 3 healers and 3 tanks, and they're actually holding in this middle position. They're not going to be holding on the point or above or on this first entryway, seeing how that's going to do for them. But coming out on attack from the LA Glory is a similar build. Is it similar or is it the same? Looking back and forth, slight differences. More diving. Instead of a Reinhardt, they're going to have Winston. And instead of D.Va, they're going to have Well, they both have Zarya's. There's just they're both 3s and 3s. This is made to be a lot of sustain and making the fights kind of last long and focused. So whoever wins is going to be the ones who are able to call out targets, find the ones that are low. Discord Orbs most likely the targets. They are sticking together. Mega Boy is going to finish off Typhoid as he gets knocked out. And they are going to be pincered into this corner as Yeti gets a Fire Strike kill on the Legion, a swing to Foon. Archilotron takes down his counterpart Monkey, and Miglet Boy taking down his counterpart Brigitte. That is a team kill defense right now coming out from Boston.
In terms of ult economy, it doesn't look like Boston is really worried about ult charge here. I mean, you've got Reinhardt and Brigitte already on fire, and that first team fight, they're working very efficiently with what they have.
Again, looking at those defensive percentages you see by their names, it is definitely in favor of the top right, Boston Downsizing, who is on the defense, but they're going to see what they can do. They do have Rally on the attacking side. There it is. It's going to give some armor. The counter Rally. And they're going to just continue poking. There's not a lot of poke going on. It's mostly Lucio and Zenyatta with a peppering of Zarya right clicks and some D.Va just mini grenades. Arc is going to be very deep. He's going to be taken really low, getting discarded. He's going to be finished off by Yeti. And a shatter from Yeti is going to start pushing the rest of this push back, and they are properly going to try and retreat. That was only 2 ults used on the Boston side as they are continuing to push forward very aggressively, trying to make sure Nocturnal can't get away with so much energy. Zarya does more damage the more energy she has, and the more purple she is, the more charged she is. But right now, Boston's doing a great defense.
I'm hoping for this next push on behalf of LA Glory that they decide to stop pushing in forward. It doesn't seem to be working for them too well. I'd probably try for the left flank.
LA Glory, Arc really high. Again, LA Glory is the blue, trying to push forward. Are they going to push in with the Lucio? Ult into speed boost. It's going to let him get Miglet Boy. Fight is now transitioned onto the point. Yet he does get the charge on the Foon, but Arc gets the charge on the Tillatron. Transcendence coming out for the Glory attacking side. To sustain, Yard coming down does continue to just dominate with his Reinhardt play. Legion's going to finish off Soups, and Eternals is going to finish off Lord Cronid, and that's going to be a successful push onto the first point, this time for LA Glory.
It's a good thing we're on Anubis right now. I think we just saw the new remake of Ark of the Covenant.
Thank you, Rambino. Now, they are pushing forward. They do have 3 ults on their favor for the attacking side, but we're looking at 4, 5 ults on the defensive side, and it's more going to be, especially with these builds of 3 tanks and 3 healers, you really need to figure out which ult you're going to use, what order, and don't just spam them. Sometimes you can get ult happy. You hear all these ults like, I want to throw mine now. They are going to equip right through the punch. Shatter comes down, is not going to find value, but Rally is going to come, and they're going to push forward on that to push the rest of Glory back. And they are going to back up. And Alpha was just a little bit too far in, but the rest of Glory does look like they're going to back up just fine. Then they are going to be in a, again, Boston is doing slightly aggressive defense, so they did notice that they are up one member, so they push LA Glory back farther than the door.
With 4 ultimates on the way for Boston Downsizing and another Earth Shadow ready for Arc, it could be a very strong push, but they need to stop going in head first. I feel right now that's not a good idea, especially with the kind of ults that they have to work with.
They're going to try it anyway. They do get booped off. Booping the Reinhardt and the Brigitte off the bridge. They're going to push forward on that. Great play from defensive Boston, and it's going to be Arc who falls to Soups. Grab comes out anyway from Glory. Going to be combo with the D.Va Bomb right on top of him. Gets a double kill. Yeti and Soups do fall. If they're getting Archilotron out of the mech as well, they're going to push forward with the Transcendence. And they have Miglet Boy here on the ground, but the other 3, it's basically the 3 supports here on the point for the defending Boston side, but they're not able to do enough damage to finish them off. There is a Discord Orb, but it's not going to be enough. Arc has come back into the fight. Yeti does kill Nocturnal. Foon falls to Miglet Boy, and they are going to have to back up once again without getting that tick. Alpha had it even switched off onto the hamster to get back faster. It was a great combo, but it's not going to be enough for LA Glory this time.
Another ult economy update here. LA Glory really blew everything they had in that last team fight. It's going to be a while before we see another ult push for that team. But that being said, Boston Downsizing ready to counter another push with that Graviton Surge and Sound Barrier combo.
Now that last Diva Bomb into the grab was actually amazing. Usually it will not land directly on top of the grab, but that one stopped in the perfect position to allow for that double kill. Usually the Reinhardt will save his shield so he can shield against the Diva Bomb whenever it stops. Can't stop it if it's on top of your face. Grab comes out here from Boston. Charge is going to get Arc. And that just takes away the shield, and they're going to start cleaning up right now. Yeti with 3 kills, and in comes Chronic to help finish off with 2 of his own. Screwy Louie getting the last one. Legion falls. And again, Boston showing that they are not going to let them take even a single tick so far. Only just over 2 minutes for LA Glory to get on the board.
Well, I blinked and that team fight was over. Boston really big show of force right this second, and it looks like LA Glory is going to need to pick a new strategy. This head first is not working out for them.
Another props to Boston there on defense. If you look at their ult economy, they only use 2 ults to win that entire team fight. Usually it'll take, if that doesn't work, they'll have to use a 3rd or even 4th, and depending on how coordinated you are, you might use all of them on accident. But they're going to push forward again around this left side. Shatter is going to be shielded. Yeti is going to get the charge, though, and it's going to be Soups who finishes off Arc, but Yeti pays for it from 0. Transcendence comes out, and the Diva Bomb comes out. Both Transcendences, but the Diva Bomb from Typhoid does get Screwy Louie and Soups. Artillatron stuns by Nocturnal and Typhoid's mech, who is then hit out, destroyed by Lord Cronid, and Miglet Boy takes out Legion. There's just Alpha and Foon here on the point, who quickly decide to run away. Lucio, being speedy, is going to get away. But again, only 1 more minute, possibly 1 extended fight left for LA Glory. They need to do something different, as Rambino said. Rambino, what would you like to see them do with this build?
Well, being that obviously that headstrong brute force isn't really working, I probably need to see something that can flank. Maybe a Sombra actually would be perfect here, especially with that Diva synergy. Would make a fantastic, easy mop-up for the entire team if you pull that off, but I don't think they have enough time to do that.
Another boop is going to knock the attacking Brigitte off the point. Yeti does the arc again. The Lucio ult is used. Not in enough time to save Arc, though. And they're going to try and retreat, but Alpha does not have the mobility to get away. It's 2 down. They're going to reset so they can get 1 more good push. There are no ults up immediately, but Boston's the one that's closest.
This is not looking good for their last team fight, only because LA Glory cannot find anything to work with, and even if they try to, Boston will shut them down with a Graviton Surge and Earthshatter combo.
Arc again moving forward, already having a Discord arm. Lucio boost on to the point. A stun! Stops Yeti's ground pound. Not enough to do anything. Transcendence coming in to counter the grab that came out. Yeti still kills the Arc, however. Coming out on the point, it is now a point fight. The LA Glory is already down 1. Transcendence comes out for Boston. That's a lot of healing. Scree Louie does take down Legion. That's 4 on Glory's side, 6 on the side of Boston. Diva Bomb coming out from the side of Boston takes down Nocturnal. And Typhoid out of the mech. Rally coming out from Miglet Boy. Does finish off Alpha. Shatter comes down, trying to get that Lucio off the high ground. Foon. Not going to be enough. It's going to be Downsizing taking the first map here on... what is this? Anubis. What an Anubis.
Well, the only thing I will say is that the last fight was so explosive. In fact, it threw me out of the game for God knows why. But I tell you right now, excellent job on behalf of both teams. This is shaping up to be an excellent fight.
Battle of games. We're going to switch over again one more time. We're going to take about a little bit of a break. We're going to chill for just a second. We're going to make sure Rambino is actually in the game again. Because, again, for whatever reason, he was kicked. I'm going to go ahead and let the music play. But, guys, we'll be back in about, give me 2 minutes. We'll get Rambino back in, and we'll discuss what went right and what went wrong. Stay tuned for all that good stuff as I get rid of me. back into the game. Guys, we're talking with Childish Rambino again about why Boston got that one and what we wanted Glory to be able to do to actually maybe get that into overtime, maybe switch back and forth. So Rambino first. What was the downfall of Glory on attack? What in detail? What can you tell me what they needed to do besides just get a Sombra? But what were they doing wrong on attack to the second point?
That really just boils down to them being stubborn, in that the team continuously tried going forward, and when they went to the left, it actually wound up in a team kill for Boston Downsizing. The only real thing they could have done is be a little bit more creative in the way they engaged. They could have gone under the bridge, try and force some team fights in places that are advantageous for them, make use of that self-destruct, try and get as many kills, because it was consistent. The Graviton surges were hitting, they were fantastic, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough for LA Glory to take the point.
Now, there was some great ult usage, some great combos. I'd say most of the ult usages that were not necessarily perfect would have been on the first point. On the second point, it seemed that the ult economy was definitely in favor of Boston when they were on defense. Again, using them very sparingly, more or less comboing properly, but it always seemed the first pick was Arc going down on the Glory side, the Reinhardt, and then a very aggressive pushing forward. I would have liked to seen Arc maybe several times. He pushed down the middle, and pushing down the middle, it wasn't working, and that's fine, but he kept pushing down the middle with a Zenyatta orb, Discord orb on him. So as soon as the shield is put down, just melted down, he himself is going to melt down. So great Zen orb usage on the side of Boston, but I would have liked to seen Arc maybe wait to push forward until the Discord fell off, put his shield up first, and then push forward. Then no Discord orbs would be on until they brought the fight to them, and that would have helped them maybe give a little more edge in terms of damage back and forth. What would you say, Rambino?
I definitely would agree. Obviously, that Zenyatta was useful in some regards, but the utility of Zenyatta is only as good as you let it be, being that their pushes were essentially being a fruitless effort. They were not gaining any ground, and that's the biggest thing. Boston just continuously mopping the floor with them.
That first one again is going to go to Boston Downsizing. It was a very good fight back and forth, and it was more or less a mirror matchup. There wasn't too they reacted well. They changed when they saw the Widow to kind of counter Widow. The Widow realized that it's going to be a little hard pushing the points, so they changed. So it wasn't that changes weren't happening. It's that changes weren't happening at the right times the whole time. But we're going to go.
The only question I have for you is, will get a redemption arc?
Thank you, Rambino. Yes, we're looking for a redemption arc. We'll see if he is going to be back here. I didn't see any necessary. Prosto has come in for the LA Glory. We have any other changes? I do not see any. But we are going to be moving on to Nepal. Nepal is one of the capture points. It's more of a king of the hill. So there are 3 different maps in the map pool that is Nepal. This is that first one that is called Sanctuary. Essentially, this is the point. Team to cap 2 out of the 3 maps of this map pool will take the point. Now here, I really like this one because I hope to see some Orissas with some pulls, some Hogs with some hooks, some boops from Lucio's, some knockoffs from Pharah's. I almost expect to see Lucio's on both sides. We're going to see what that's going to be, but it may or may not. But again, top left is LA Glory, top right is your Boston Downsizing. They are winning 1-0 at the moment. But first, LA Glory's composition. What are you thinking of them so far, my good man Rambino?
Well, that is the epitome of an environmental kill team if I ever saw one. You have the concussive grenades from the Pharah. You have the pulls from Arc, and you also have the hooks. Now, I do believe they've actually nerfed the hooking ability of Roadhog to pull people into environmental hazards, but nonetheless, he can still pull from certain locations and get those kills, which is exactly what you want.
On the other side, not so much environmental kills, except if you want to count the Lucio, because we do have Migla Boy and Soup's going to be playing those flanking heroes of Genji and Tracer. Yeti and Artillotron going to be going dive tanks. Again, the Monkey and the Diva. And Suri Louis, Anna, and the Lord Cronid, the booping king of the Lucio. Alpha is going to be up in the air, and going to be basically pocketed by Mercy, called the Pharah Mercy. and he's going to be mostly uncontested. Artillotron's going to be the main thing back there, because Scurry Louie, although can hit a Pharah, is going to be mainly focused on healing to keep his team alive. Damage is coming out. They're almost getting destroyed, but Alpha does get Artillotron's mech, and Typhoid does get the kill on Miglet Boy. Mini Artillotron falls to Alpha as well. And Typhoid able to get the pick onto Yeti. And they are trying to hide in that little side pocket. Lord Chronic going to try and stall, doing his boops as best he can. Does get the double kill on this Typhoid and Legion. Two people who were not able to use their movement ability to get back. Arc is going to pull in Soups, who doesn't have his recall. They are stalling very well. Miglet Boy they actually were able to get control of the point Boston was. So that fact that LA Glory was here and not able to take the point when there was only so many members of Boston is amazing. Posto getting a double kill with his dragon, then to Yeti. Miglet Boy is going to fall to Typhoid, and they are going to switch it over after 38% going in favor of Boston.
With a quick update to the ult economy here, no ults in sight, but we are seeing a Dragon Blade being ready soon, a Primal Rage for Boston Downsizing, the Power Bongo ready for Arc, Barrage, and the Coalescence ready for LA Glory in this next team fight.
I want to compliment Alpha on his positioning there, staying as high and near a wall as possible. Typhoid is actually going to take our turn out of mech. Miglet Boy gets the dash kill onto Prosto, and the Dragon Blade kill onto Legion is just slacking. He's slashing, finds Typhoid. That's a 3K for Miglet Boy. Foon does get the res back onto Legion. They're going to try and stall for some points, but Angry Monkey does take down Foon. Alpha rains justice from above, does get 2 kills, and then taken out by Soups, has gone under McCree, and 38% did go to LA Glory, and now it's back on the side of Boston.
Another quick update. Again, 2 ultimates for each team, but Boston definitely taking advantage of their team comp. They're getting the flanks. They are getting the damage they need. We are seeing a swap into a McCree, which actually is going to be perfect for taking down that Pharah.
And already at 76% ult after switching it only once. A Dragon Strike comes out, is actually eaten. You do not see it on the map because it was eaten by the enemy D.Va. We have Typhoid taking out his mech. Alpha getting the pick onto Yeti. And we have Typhoid using the whole hog. Is going to start to get reflected. Is going to get booped off. Lord Krona hits down the hog into the abyss. Alpha going to take him in retaliation. It is slowly switching over to the side of Glory. Are they going to try and contest for any more percentages? They are not. It is 80% on the side of Boston, and it is slowly ticking up on the side of LA Glory. What is that percentage number we're looking for in these capture the points?
I believe it is 88%.
Now, 88% is more or less the percentage needed, so that if you are at 80% and the enemy team has control, if you can take control and win that team fight, the enemy team will not have enough time to get back and contest most of the time, unless they have like a Hammond or another mobile hero. Eugene no Kaioken coming out from Miglet Boy, and Anna boosted, trying to get it, is wasting a lot of his slashes onto Typhoid, is not going to find a lot of value. Soups does get Prosto, Alpha does get Scurry. D.Va Bomb comes out, it's just inside the shield. Arc just barely gets does his shield dance to make sure he doesn't die. Artillotron does get the penalty. Justice again from Alpha, gets a double kill. And it's Arc who gets the kill on Soups. Alpha does get Artillotron out of the mech as well. Lord Cronid booping Typhoid again, but Alpha is just cleaning up here on this Pharah once again. Arc getting the kill onto Yeti, and that's LA Glory holding at 92%. What can Boston do to get back to the point?
And at this point, it doesn't actually look like they're able to get onto the point unless we see a Swift Strike from the Genji.
They do just get it in overtime. Miglet Boy gets it in overtime. Soups does get a high noon kill, but a boop from Alpha gets Screwy Louie and Soups, and then a kill onto Miglet Boy as well. Alpha is raining justice from above. He doesn't need an ult to start cleaning up the rest of this team. Arc gets on Children and on Milk, and it's Alpha who finds the mini D.Va version. Arc finishing off Yeti, and a hook kill onto Lord Cronid from Zero is going to be enough for the first of the 3 maps to go in favor of LA Glory.
Now, we didn't see a Mei, but I can bet my life on it. If they don't bring a Mei these next maps, it will cost them terribly, either side. The Mei's utility on these maps is definitely unable to be overstated. The Blizzards are key to taking back these points when you're having trouble fighting team comps. And well, LA Glory really had the better team comp in general on paper. Boston made short work of them in many of their team fights with superior ult economy and efficient
usage. Rambino, do me a favor and disconnect and reconnect into Discord one time. We did hear all of it, but I wanted to make sure that we are clear and hear all your awesomeness. They are not going to be changing anything on the side of LA Glory except for Prosto going to be starting on that Hanzo. And the reason he was saying Mei was so good, not just because of his Mei ults, but because of the walls. The walls can actually control the entire first stairs, so if a team is pushing forward in that direction, they can wall them off. They can separate half the entire capture point and get to pick somebody. Lord Krana gets a pick on a Typhoid who is on the Zarya. And Yeti is going to take down Arc. That's already 2 down. That is a very strong opener coming out from Boston, pushing back and very aggressively. This is what we saw on that first map. When they were in control of a point or saw they had won the team fight, they are going to push forward and see if they can't get any other picks to stagger them. And it first starts the ticks again in the favor of Boston.
Looking at the ult economy once again, we have a barrage ready for LA Glory. Nothing real ready for Boston, but they do have the point, so they've got plenty of time to do so.
Again, they are holding. They're going to hold directly on the point, not holding up because of that Pharah. Pharah could flank very easily and get some easy damage. They're going to fly in again. Pharah Mercy. Justice reigns from above. Gets 2-ish until Lord Krana does take him down. Shatter comes down from Yeti. Is going to be 3 members down. They're going to start swooping him up with a hammer, which is not very nice. And they're going to push him back. Lucio ult, or Lucio boost into a Miglet Boy rally is going to let them hold this point even longer.
Now, again, we're seeing Boston on fire. You've got Yeti, you've got Miglet, you have Screwy, Louie, all on fire right now, and it's probably going to stay that way. Very close-knit playstyle from Boston Downsizing, doing a fantastic job of zoning, doing a fantastic job of keeping that pharmacy at bay.
And they are, and again, but there is no real drop-off for the Pharah rocket, so they can shoot from far away, where there is not enough value coming out from McCree. So even if he's hitting those shots, being pocketed by Mercy and being far away from the fight, it's going to be a real hard for just him to deal with it. That's why Artillotron needs to be up there as well. Soups does get the pick on Arc. And they're going to, again, just immediately, they say they pick, they are going to take it. Soups getting that kill onto Alpha up in the air. This is a very strong hold coming out from Boston. What do we need to see coming out from Glory to actually pierce this?
Well, it looks like, generally speaking, they're still trying to brute force their way onto the point, and that just isn't going to work, especially with the way that Boston is just grouping up, recovering very quickly from any picks they get.
And they're going to just touch the point so it is going to be eaten. The grab is eaten again by Artillotron. Shatter is shielded and then hit counter. Shatter comes out. Diva Bomb coming out. Soups getting the kill onto Alpha. Foon falls down to Artillotron. Yeti getting the charge onto Arc. Miglet Boy going to find Legion. And they are just moving around the map more as a team and just cleaning up their call. I believe, if I could hear their comms, I just feel like the Discord from Cronid is being called out. They are fighting, they are killing, and they are just holding that point. I love the different maps. It is 1-to-1. This next one, we said we wanted a Mei before, because again the Mei wall kind of blocks off part, although there were more or less 6 different entrances onto that last one. This point has 2, and a Mei wall can block off an entire side. I would love to see a Mei. Alpha is going to be on one. We'll see if we get one on side of Boston. I do like that there is that slight change. Prosto going onto more of a brawly Reaper. We see Soup sticking to the McCree, probably anticipating another Pharah, because Pharah was getting ult pretty well and was getting a lot of damage, but it wasn't enough for the team to push forward.
If one thing I cannot understate, again, Mei's utility denying self-destructs, that Blizzard covers the entire point in this map. It's a fantastic pick on already.
It absolutely is, and I'm glad to see Alpha on it. In fact, the Pharah Mercy has actually switched sides, more or less. It has gone to the side of Boston. They're kind of poking, trying to find damage. Mei is actually waiting from the LA Glory side. You see her waiting for them to push forward just a little bit to get in there, and they're going to block them off. I think they can tell Mei is there. I think Yeti sees it, is going to wait. Reaper flanking other side, gets a Devo demeched. Mini Diva going to be pocketed by Mercy to keep him alive, but it is in the side of LA Glory first, and Typhoid does get the kill onto Cronid. Soups falls to Prosto. Arc gets Artillotron, and it's going to be a first cap on the side of LA Glory this time.
I find it pretty odd, however, in the GOATS meta of Overwatch, you don't see a lot of Reapers, and I don't know why. You've got tank-busting capabilities. He actually has received buffs to his self-sustain as well. He's a pretty fair choice when it comes to countering GOATS comps.
I've actually seen several different videos and posts about buffing Reaper because in the old days they essentially added armor to tanks to counter people like Reaper, because Reaper was literally shredding through, and that's what he's supposed to do. But since his shots do not do as much damage against armor, which almost every tank, save for Zarya and the Hammond, have, Maywall comes out, is going to be blocking off several members of the team. Arc gets the charge onto Yeti and gets the swing kill to Miglet Boy. I believe this is going to be the side of LA Glory on this next exchange right here. And they're going to try and stall on point. They are going to not let him be up for too much longer. They're at 70%. As I was saying, Reaper is in that place where he can do very, very well against somebody like Roadhog. Roadhog has no armor. He's a 600 health pool ult charge for Reaper. And he stays alive. Another great Maywall comes out from Alpha, getting half their team blocked off. Soup's actually getting the kill on Prosto. A shatter from Arc knocks down 4 members. They start swinging up. Screwy Louie falls. Lord Cronin falls. A Diva Mech ult comes out. Not going to be enough. Arc getting a triple kill on the Miglet Boy. All healers fall down to the hammers of Arc. Here comes out the May ult that again, you see it is on the entirety of that entire point. And that's going to be LA Glory very dominant on that last one, just like Boston was dominant on the second one, and they're going to tie it up. Alpha was very much back and up in the air, doing a lot of great picks. Not surprised to see him here. There's that double boop. Again, booping is when you use an ability that basically forces a enemy player to change position. And that was able to boop them off into the abyss. Now, I don't think there's need for a necessary stop there, because it did go back and forth. That was 2 of the maps to 1. It did go in favor of Glory. The first one Glory got. The second one Boston was very dominant. They had a very good defense. I feel like if Boston could have gotten control, maybe their mindset changes in their defensive posture that would allow them to get forward, but maybe their attack just isn't as strong. What would you say, Rambino?
Well, from what I'm seeing, LA Glory, they're a little bit more stubborn with the way that they're fighting, and it isn't going to work out in the long run, I have a feeling. Boston Downsizing, however, I don't really see any change in their strategies. It's more of use what you have and use it well, and it's definitely showing in the way that they are team fighting. It's efficient, it's focused, it's calm and collected. It just needs to be a little bit more consistent.
Now, I've seen that right now, so back and forth, we've had more or less battles of mirrors. We've seen the main one I'm remembering is Arc and Yeti, the Reinhardts. In terms of their play styles, which one is more aggressive, would you say?
I'm going to have to say Arc, ironically, because even though Yeti is also a great Reinhardt, Arc has consistently been able to get triple kills with his hammer.
And he is definitely pushing forward, and it does seem to me, I was actually going to say Yeti, because as they were holding that second map, whenever someone died, he was the first one in front, and he just kept swinging his hammer. He was cleaning up. He probably didn't get as many great shatters as Arc, but he did get his share. They're not shielding as much against their counterpart Shatter. I saw one being shielded. All the other ones seem to land. And the mind games in a Reinhardt to Reinhardt is, do they have Shatter? Is my team right behind me? Do I press W? And when is it safe to fire strike? You are the shield of your team. If your shield goes down, you are melee, and you better hope you're pocketed and not die.
I would definitely agree with that. Obviously, what separates a good Reinhardt from a great Reinhardt is how impactful you are, not only offensively, but defensively. Now, obviously, Reinhardt is not a pushover when it comes to damage, but that 2,000 health shield is the reason why he was the most played tank in the beta way back when.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, and when he's how Reinhardt works for those who are new, Reinhardt's kit. He's the big guy with the shield and the hammer. He has the only ranged attack he has is on around a 6-second cooldown. It's his fire strike, and you'll see it actually go forward. It's this fire up and down strike, fire strike. It pierces targets. It does 100 damage. That's his ranged ability. He also has a charge on a very long cooldown, but if he finds a target and pins them, he does 300 damage. That's going to kill any DPS and any healer, including Brigitte, even with their armor. The only one that he'll have to maybe finish off with a fire strike and a swing at the end is going to be a tank. Problem is, he doesn't have any other mobility past that, so if he uses his charge and he goes all the way to the enemy's team in their backline, well, he may have gotten a pin, but he's now in the middle of the enemy team. He's going to die. So Reinhardt having his 2000 shield to help his team push forward and get into a better position is his main role. He's not there to stand still with his shield. He'll become Rectangle Man. He is meant to help his team push forward with his shield up while they're behind it so they can position themselves in a more advantageous position. If you're standing in a choke with your Rein shield up, you're just wasting time. Use your W key if you're on attack. If you're on defense, watch the enemy Reinhardt and find your opening. And that's been the more you know for Reinhardt's. It's not perfect. I'm not perfect, but that was fun to explain.
Now, I agree with you, but I would argue that sometimes, not always, depending on who initiates a fight, if a Reinhardt initiates, chances are if his team doesn't follow up, it's a bad idea. But if Reinhardt is not the one to engage and he comes in a little later, it could mean the difference between a team kill or your team wiping.
Very true. That could be done for any main tank or even, to a lesser extent, off tank. Main tanks. Rambino, can you tell us the main difference between a main tank and their role in a team fight and an off tank and their role?
Alrighty, so traditionally tanks in any game, you know, you look at you want them to soak up damage, you want them to stop crowd.
We're going to pause 1 second, Rambino, as our computer's kind of loaded in. So hold on. We're going to load in the map, and then you're going to start your explanation one more time. And I think we're loaded up. Go for it again.
Alrighty, so the difference between tanks, and if you look at MOBAs, if you look at regular games, a primary tank, it is called a tank because these are usually beefy characters with large health pools that specialize in negating crowd control and blocking abilities, generally being a damage sponge. Now, the difference between that and an off tank is an off tank doesn't necessarily do all of that, but maybe some core functions. Now, Brigitte is an excellent example of this. She does have a smaller shield to block certain projectiles. It's usually only for herself or somebody in close proximity. However, she does have a bit of off tank utility. She can heal in an AoE. She can also heal at a range, but she can also stun as engage in team fights to some capacity. Now, that isn't to say all tanks should all play the same roles. Now, if you look at Roadhog, he is an off tank. He is not meant to be shot at repeatedly. Yes, he can heal. He's a bit of an isolationist, if that is a word that we can use. He can pull targets in, he can beat the snot out of them, and effectively, he's a bit of an assassin, if you really want to think about it. He gets rewarded for hitting those hooks, and, you know, way back when, he could pull you around a corner, and it was curtains for you. But nowadays, as long as he has line of sight of you, he will pull you. If he will immediately break that hook.
That's exactly right, and we are seeing the Hog coming out from the side of LA Glory on the defense. They're going to holding the high ground. They're I like this position of the shield. They're more or less making sure that they have plenty of room they can poke without most of the shield being taken down too quickly. Now, their poke damage is mostly going to become in the form of Ashe and Zenyatta, as Alpha on the Genji is going to be trying to maybe watch for flanks or look for opportunities. But on attack here from Boston, they are going to be doing 3 tank, 3 support. Pushing forward, their main... around right now, they'll be thinking, dang it, they're on top of the gas station. It's going to be very hard for them to get up there to contest or push them off, except for the Artillerytron on Diva. And they do have pushing forward. Soup's actually getting the right-click kill onto Prosto, who's immediately rezzed by Foon. And they're kind of getting a lot of free payload movement as they are going all the way around. Typhoid is going to get Miglet Boy with a hook combo. Hooked him in, and he's going to fall. Arc has decided to come down onto this corner to start and contest. It is going to be taken down by Yeti. Not enough support from the rest of the team. Typhoid coming down just after that. Eugene Okeoken coming out from Alpha. Gets a dash kill onto Scurry Louie. Looking to get the kill on Lord Crawded. Gets it. Dashes forward. Trying to get another one. He's going to be taken down by Yeti's hammer. But that's 2 for 1 right now. Bob comes out from Prosto, who does get Artillery out of mech. Typhoid does get Soups. Bob kill. Bob kills Mini Diva. Legion does get Yeti, and that's a hold right now. It's going to be Miglet Boy taken down last. But LA Glory, after they got around the corner, they did stop them. And now it's Boston's turn to regroup and get to the last little bit to the first point.
Now, we don't see a lot of Ashes yet. Obviously, she just became okay to play in competitive not too long ago. But her utility can be extremely useful, especially with a 1,000 health tank with damage, mind you. And a nano boosted Bob is definitely very dangerous to a team not prepared for it.
And it does count as a contesting player on the payload or whatever objective it is. Valkyrie coming out from Glory. Bomb coming down, getting a lot of people kind of destroyed. Dynamite doing AoE damage, and then Shield. A Shatter comes down from Yeti. Is going to be countered by the Zenyatta ult to keep the rest of his team alive. Food getting Arc back up. Nerf this does come out from Boston, trying to find somebody. Gets a double kill! Legion and Prosto couldn't be in the right position around the corner. They are going to be taken out. Alpha does get Miglet Boy, but Soups does get Arc. It is Alpha here contesting the point. Backed up by Foon. Typhoid in the back, just trying to find somebody. Again, he is very self-sustaining. Eugene Okeoken comes out again from Alpha, countered by the Transcendence again. Both Zenyatta's getting a lot of value for their Transcendences. Yeti does get the swing kill onto Foon, and it's Alpha that's taken down by Soups, and it's going to be Boston taking that first point. They do get 1 point on the map, and a lot more time to get the second point.
And I don't think they've burned too many ultimates there, if any. They're doing a fantastic job just sitting on that payload, letting them engage on the payload. Now, it does offer a little bit of healing. I don't think that trade-off is worth it for most people, but for those that find it useful, definitely helps a little bit when you're trying to turn the tide in your favor.
You see 2 of them down on the payload right now, Lord Cronid and Soups pushing it forward. Usually you only see 1 or all of them back there. They are kind of halfway pushing forward around this corner to make sure that when the defensive team engages, it is more in their favor where they want it. Now Prosto does get the nice pick onto Scurry. Bob comes down, is going to be discorded, is going to start doing his Bob things, is doing a lot of damage. Arc does get Yeti. Lord Cronid finishes off the Bob, however. Legion gets Miglet Boy. The fight has gone onto the payload now. It does look like Glory is pushing Boston back because Foon gets Artillery out of the mech, who is sweeped and cleaned up by Arc, who also finds Soups. And they're going to start pushing the back all the way to the gate. Rambino, I want to ask, if you're defensive right now, is this where you want to hold, where Arc is right now? Or do you want to come forward? Do you want to be on the high ground, and why?
So, more often than not, you definitely want to take the high ground over low ground, and here's why. You have a tactical advantage. You are more flexible. If you get attacked from above, definitely always at a disadvantage, as we're seeing right.
And they come on the high ground, they get the grab, they get the kill onto Foon. Here comes out the rally as well. They're from Alpha. Alpha is helping a lot of his team stay alive with the damage. Prosto getting the kill on Arturtron's mech and Yeti. Legion find Miglet Boy. Alpha's pushing forward, even with the Discord ARP. He's being very brave, chasing after Zarya. Soups does get the kill onto him. Out, it's Typhoid who gets Scurry Louie. Discorded Mini Diva on point, and that's going to be a cleanup on the side of Glory. Boston's going to back up and try again.
It is a tad odd what we're seeing, the play style of LA Glory. They're usually a little bit more stubborn. I'd imagine they'd probably want to push out Downsizing a little bit more, force them to fight off the point. But then again, if they touch the payload, it's going to be more problem for both teams.
Very true. If Boston is able to get towards the payload actually heals the attacking team ever so slightly over time. So it's a great advantage if they can get the fight onto the point. Grab coming out from LA Glory. It's all in there kind of by Transcendence. Is it going to be enough? A charge comes out, does knock him around a little bit. Bob just comes out as well. Gets the Lucio ult as well. It's like every ult is coming out, basically. Nerf this coming out on the bridge. Gets knocked down. Is not going to find enough. Alpha does get Lord Cronid. Scurry Louie booping Arc into oblivion. Transcendence comes out on the side of Boston. Or on the side of Glory, excuse me. Shatter comes out from Yeti as Transcendence was ending. is not going to be able to be followed up by the rest of his team. Typhoid does take down Yeti. Brigida's swinging. Battle a little spread out right now. Looking to hopefully see some changes. Both Brigida's swinging. Mega Boy using Rally to stay alive. Coming back to the rest of his team, again to the payload. Shatter comes out from Arc. Does knock down Miglet Boy, which allows Arc to get a line up to charge her into the wall. Typhoid does get Lord Cronid, and a grab coming out on the side of Boston from Soups. Not enough follow-up. A charge does find Arc against the wall. Yeti gonna be bubbled as well. Does finish the kill off the Arc. Prosto getting our mini Archilotron. Yeti was using his Shatter, gets stunned by Alpha. That's a Shatter that he can't get back. It is about to go into overtime. They need to keep somebody on the payload. Yeti does get the charge onto Typhoid, but he's going to be taken out very quickly. They are getting on they need to get on the point. They do get to overtime. Hammond is up here, but Bob has come out again. Gets a kill under Lord Cronid right away in the middle of all of them. That great line of sight on Bob right now. Arc does get Soups. Transcendence coming out from the side of Glory. Arc getting a double kill. It's just swinging his hammer. Do-si-do. Alpha getting the kill on the hamster, and Arc getting a 3K on that last little team fight. And that's going to be all the push that happened for Boston.
That's only round 1. But I can tell you right now that if they don't shape up their strategy, it's going to be a very quick win for the opposite team here. Now, the team comps were there, but I don't know if Bob was used as effectively as I've liked it to be.
Again, Bob positioning is actually like its own philosophy. You want Bob to Bob, as he comes out, he is placed about 10 meters in front of Ash and starts charging forward until he hits a wall or a certain distance, and he tosses people up. So the combo that Ash can use, even if she bobs one person, is the person that Bob knocks up goes straight up. Perfect time to aim down your sights and get a headshot. Bob also then sets up and just starts being a freaking mega turret. Constantly shooting, constantly aim-botting, freaking cheating Bob. But if you can position Bob in a way that is either contesting the payload or in a corner that the enemy team would have to turn around and deal with, that allows your team to push forward, you essentially get a 7th man, is what Bob means to me. And, of course, Bob is Bay. Where would you have liked to have seen Bob used better? Because he did get a kill each time he came out, but as you said, you were looking for more value. Can you explain that?
So, essentially, even when you call him out, he can get a charge kill, just similar to Reinhardt. Now, he doesn't pin them, but he can displace. Now, that initial engagement with Bob, treat that like your 6th player. Use that. Play with it. You know, obviously, you don't have to build around a Bob, but the way that you're engaging, you can win team fights with better value. Again, he can deal damage himself too. He's an all-rounder, and really, like, you're playing with a 6th person on your team, or I'm sorry, a 7. You get a lot of possibilities that can happen.
Basically, back up Bob like he was a charging Reinhardt. He is that important, and he's that good at making your team get that much more space. Now, Boston's going to be a little more aggressive here on the defense of their Route 66 as they kind of hold this corner. Great Dynamite comes in, and Arc does swing in, taking off Chilotron out of the mech. Comes down with a great ground pound as well. Staying on Farah, despite getting picked off early from Miglet Boy. But he is going to get the pick on Lord Cronid. They're going to continue pushing forward. LA Glory again on attack. Does get Soups and Miglet Boy down. Alpha finding picks and is just going to be able to be pocketed and get several kills. Alpha more or less the decider here on this push for LA Glory. It's going to be a Chilotron just taken out. Mech goes away. Mini Diva taken out. And not even one full fight. They are going to get that first point and some more time to go forward.
Now, in terms of ult economy, even though LA Glory is up, we've seen Boston they're able to do things even without ultimates that usually you shouldn't be able to do. But the way that they're pushing this payload nice and conservative-like, it's probably going to be to Boston's advantage.
Alpha flying above is going to be pushed back by Archilotron and Miglet Boy. Miglet Boy does have High Noon. I don't mind seeing him use it just to get the Farah and Mercy. If they're out and not around a corner fast enough, High Noon will take them both out, and it is a very good use of it. So usually you see McCree's just try and flank and get the super ultra kill. 1 or 2 is perfect, especially when it's a Farah. Here comes High Noon. Gonna be blocking. Is gonna be doing a lot, building up a lot of damage. Is going to get Typhoid out of mech, which might be enough, but good hiding from Fair. Here comes Bog, charges through, gets a lot of damage right away, and it's coming for it. Alpha getting raining from above, but Miglet Boy finds him. Not enough damage from Alpha to kill through that shield. Shatter comes out. The Shatter was used. You may think, well, Yeti didn't get anything of that. Yeti actually cleared out the minefield that came out from Arc, and that's going to be a defense here from Boston. I would agree with all those alt uses.
Has been doing. They're just stronger in every team fight. It isn't necessarily Glory's fault. It's just the way that they're placing themselves in between these team fights.
I am still surprised how much value Alpha is able to continue to get on this fair with just great positioning around the high side tavern. Is going to get Miglet Boy in the back. There is no res on that side. Justice comes out again from Alpha. Transcendence comes out. He's going to be taken out by Artillotron. There is the rally coming out from the side of Boston. Glory getting really close. They are continuing to push forward. Arc is getting mini ball is trying to get running away. Typhoid hit out of mech. They're still contesting. Very good. High Noon again coming out from the Miglet Boy. Does find Prosto. I would have liked to actually see him hold that. I believe his team was winning the fight. And I think Alpha is going to continue to rain justice from above.
They're getting dangerously close. While that is true, I imagine as long as they stay grouped and they are taking advantage of the angles and of not getting flanked, I think they'll be okay.
Okay, you notice Alpha using corners, going to buildings, not trying to give Miglet Boy enough room, but Prosto finds the pick on him. That's going to be the enemy, the attacking team's ability to push forward. Bob does knock some up, knocks Yeti up. Starts doing damage, is discorded and healing orbed as well at the same time. Arc uses another minefield. There is no one to push it forward. Artillotron gets the Diva ult onto Prosto. Here comes out the attacking Diva bomb. Does get the kill on Soups. Prosto is res right away. Arc does kill Screwy Louie with that ult, but a shatter from Yeti gets 2 members down. Decides to charge the Diva instead of the Lucio. Or instead of Prosto. And it is going to be Glory, who is going to take Route 66.
Not only was that unexpected on behalf of myself, but it looks like LA Glory is finally realizing that they don't have to take everything head first. It's more of, if you do it, at least do it in a way that isn't going to blow all your eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Again, I'm very surprised and proud of Alpha. Usually you'd have to have a fair turn off, because it wasn't that Miglet Boy was missing those shots on McCree to the fair up in the air. It was that Fair was playing very well around corners, using buildings, allowing just barely a little bit of herself to be seen, and she was essentially pushing back and doing so much damage. There were so many justice raining from above. I believe that was one of the main factors that allowed Glory to push forward. Again, Glory up 2-1 in this matchup. It looks like they changed something. It might be the map type. I'm not going to be surprised if I see this game go to a map 5. How about you, Rambino? What's your feel so far on the overall matchup?
It really pains me to say this, that on paper I see LA Glory. Technically I feel like on paper that they're better than Downsizing, but Downsizing is just proving me wrong, and that it's coordinated chaos for them. They can see the way that their team fights are happening, and we could very well see a game 5, but if it becomes a 3-1, I'm also not going to be upset, because I want LA Glory to really bring in that potential that they need to learn from their mistakes, and it looks like they're doing that now.
Again, they are doing a fantastic job. They did win Route 66. They're up 2-1. Next map looks like it's going to be Eichenwald. Eichenwald is, I've said it every time we've done it, I really enjoy this map because I would actually love to just walk through a castle. And it's a freaking castle. Well, this is Reinhardt's stage, and it's... Do you know the backstory to Eichenwald and its current state?
I do not.
I don't know all of it, but I can drop a little knowledge bomb. It is, if you saw the short that had to do with Reinhardt and his master, this is where they were holding against an Omnic invasion. And you'll see a lot of Omnic bodies like Bastions and other just robotics littered throughout the map. And at the very end, if we can get there to the third point here on this map, you will see the armor of Reinhardt's master sitting on a throne. That's essentially where he passed and where he was defending to the last man to actually allow Reinhardt to leave. It's a little bit in ruins, but it is still his home. With that cool little backstory, I like it because I like hybrid maps. Hybrid maps are essentially you capture the point, which spawns the payload, then you push the payload. You can capture a point to get one tick at 33%, another tick at 66%, and then you unlock it. So one of the reasons I like it is sometimes it's just really, really short, because the first defending team actually holds back the attackers. They don't get any ticks, and it switches right away, and then they only have to get one tick. Or it can go all the way to the end. They capture the point, they get to the second point, they get to the end, and then it swaps back and forth. So it's a love-hate for me. But I love the fact on the 3 different kind of biomes, if you will, on the first attacking section, and then from that point to right in front of the castle, and then from inside the castle. Do you understand what I'm saying here, Rambino?
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Awesome. And what I really like is the first one is very much a can you flank properly or can you push forward? Because there is a very hard choke that the attackers have to go through. There is very good far flanks you can do. You can actually go over the buildings to the left on the attacking side, or you can flank all the way to the far right. But usually the teams will have to push forward to get through that first choke. There's not a lot of high ground. There's only really 2 positions of high ground the defense can take, and that's just above and to the left of the point and above to the right of the point. That's all well and good. You will see a comp from both teams to reflect that type of gameplay. And then on this, from that point to the point in front of the castle.
If you didn't know German.
If you what?
German.
I know German. Sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch. But I think you're breaking up just a little bit. As we're getting back into the game, can you go ahead and maybe I'll do it too. We'll disconnect and reconnect to Discord. Because we're all professionals here. And I'm back. Excellent sauce. Yeah, I think it was more or less Discord being Discord. I don't think that had anything to do with Rambino. At least I hope it didn't. But it is still trying to connect to Discord. But what I like about the second point is there is a partial castle you can actually get on top of. So I expect to see more brawly tanks in that first point, and I expect to see more height, vertically unchallenged tanks, ones that are very mobile. So you'll see like Devo, Winston, Hammond, and you'll see snipers. Because of that high ground initiation, I really hope to see both teams really switching to make utilization, because then on the third point, it kind of switches back to a version of the first cap. And what it does is you are inside a castle, so there is a roof. You push forward. There is no real flanking opportunities per se, because you are going down a more or less narrow passageway. There are small flanking routes that are their own straight barrels, so if someone's defending, like a Junkrat down that, you're not going to be able to get into where you're wanting to go. And then you get towards the end. So it's a nice... a Tetris piece. It's a Tetris piece. That's what it is. And I just like the different styles of gameplay that's going to come out from both teams on all 3 sections of this map. Now, I am trying to connect to Discord. Right now, Rambino is being a boss. I'm actually curious if I need to switch over maybe to my Discord. Hooray, Discord! I think Brick's in my Discord. Maybe we'll get him to go over there. Let me try connecting to mine. But guys, everybody's chilling for just a second. LA Glory again up 2-1 against Boston. Let's see if I can go. If I can even join this. Okay, I can join this one. You can see if Rambino and Brick would like to get into my Discord. Oh, he's chilling in this one as I try and connect to the other one. I'm going to try one more time. It is Discord being Discord. Okay, looks like they're coming over to mine. Hopefully, I think I have him on mine. Let me make sure. Guys, thank you for being so patient. Again, I am Spifftastic, me co-casting with the Childish Rambino. You can see our info down just below the screen. Let me make sure I can invite. Let me go Brick. Let me do Rambino. Cool beans. We got the ref in here looking for Rambino, and then I think we'll be good to go. I don't know what it is about their Discord. It might just because there are a lot of games going on at the same time, so maybe the Discord for the OCC, again, that's where most of the teams are required to have their conversations and whatnot, because we're playing, Dallas is playing, and Vancouver is playing. So I think there's just so many people on that Discord. It's just being a little full. Rambino, are you there, my good sir?
Yes, I am. Welcome back. Great to have you.
Oh, thank goodness. I am back, and yay. I think that's going to do it for us. So, Brick, if the other two teams are ready, I am ready as well. As I hide chat once again. And remember to go back to the game screen, because I'm a boss. We're going to let the map load in. But Rambino, what I got to kind of tell the viewers is the 3 different biomes, and what I'd like to see coming out from both teams is, because the different play styles that are more or less required from the 3 different parts, to capturing the point, to getting in front of the castle, and then into the castle. I was describing, I would like to see maybe a brawly, kind of, maybe the 3 and 3 would work very well on attack for this first point to capture the point, but on the second one, I would like to see a switch to a more divey comp, maybe from tanks and players, so they can get up and down on the high ground as they're pushing to get into the castle. And then maybe on the last one, I'm very expecting to see maybe a Junkrat, because of they're basically coming down a barrel. Now, do you have any thoughts on those 3 different things? Please disagree with me if you feel like it.
Well, I personally just like seeing variety, and I'm right with you. You know, obviously, more brawl-oriented comps are going to be more interesting than goats every single time. And we'll say this right now. Anything goes on Eichenwald, and that is the beauty of it. There's lots of different ways you can explore the different kinds of synergies. There's lots of room for different kinds of combos. It all runs down to the creativity of both.
Again, I'm showing you guys several of the mechs in that little story of what happened here. Now, did Bastion, in his little video, he didn't wake up. Did he wake up in Germany? Like somewhere out here, somewhere in one of these forests out near Eichenwald?
That is correct. According to the short, that forest is theoretically the same forest that had these Omnics here. Now, they were conducting an assault on Eichenwald, and we were able to shut it down thanks to the Crusaders.
Now, on defense, again, top left is you're going to be LA Glory. Top right is attacking with the Boston Downsizing. Now, LA Glory deciding to be a little cheeky. Is going to be found out immediately. And it does look like they are going to start brawling way in front of the point. This is very much in favor of the attackers. Yet he does get Prosto. Charge comes out. It's not going to find anyone, putting him back towards the spawn. But that is 2 down already from Glory. So Boston's going to push forward very hard here. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a full retreat, maybe push back once the rest of their team come forward. But they are going to aggressively push forward in this small little corridor. 2 ticks have already happened. And they might be giving it. They're not going to be able to get on that point yet. They're trying to. Lucio was trying to get on there, but because of the cheekiness, it wasn't just the cheekiness coming up from LA Glory. It was that Boston decided to go that direction. If they had actually gone down the middle, LA Glory would have gotten a jump on them. And it just seemed that Boston was able to deal with that small impact scenario better than LA Glory. Prosto getting a double kill onto Soups and Miglet Boy, showing that they can defend properly when they are in a more advantageous position. A Mei wall comes out. Would expect them to come forward. Rally comes out. Now you may be saying, why are you using that rally right now? Well, rally increases the speed of her and everyone around her, but it also slowly builds up around 100 armor that stays after the ult is over. So it's already 100 extra health and armor that's even better. Shatter is going to be shielded by Arc. Mei wall into the payload is not enough because the payload will actually move right through it. Arc gets the charge onto Yeti. A Mei ult comes out from Glory. Does freeze two of them. Miglet Boy, although getting bubbled, is going to be destroyed by the defending team of LA Glory.
Now, this is a small mechanic I don't believe most Overwatch players are aware of. The armor in this game actually makes a big difference. Now, here's why. If you have any damage given to you that is over 10, in that instance, it will reduce it by 5. However, if it is less than 10, I do believe it is cut in half. And that's really significant, which is why having armor in any case is always better than regular health. And then, of course, shields just recharge over time.
And another thing on top of that, you may have noticed that the Miglet Boy had used Rally and then switched right away. If you actually switch too quickly, the armor doesn't stick on your team. And so the switch onto Farah, although using Rally, the Rally armor did not stick. Mei wall comes out, charges come out. Mei is back in her cryostasis. Transcendence coming out from Boston to keep him alive. Transcendence retaliation coming on the side of LA Glory. Nerf, this is going to be Mei wall. Nobody kills from there. Now Miglet Boy being on top, and the only one that's really up in the air. I would have liked to seen maybe the defending LA Glory stick to more high ground now, but they are going to be holding this corner, and they are doing a decent job of it. But Boston is slowly moving forward. Arc is really up here by himself. Shatter is not going to find any purchase. He is taken down by Artillotron. A great Mei wall stops the Yeti charge. But he just uses the movement speed increase from Screwy Louie to start cleaning up the defending side of LA Glory, and Boston is going to start moving very close to the second point, and they might have one opportunity to defend, but Glory needs to pick it up.
So bear with me, but I think Screwy Louie really nailed that Lucio, and that sound barrier is ready to go, but he's doing a fantastic job of keeping his teammates alive, especially with Zenyatta.
Now, the Reinhardt was denied the charge and then almost let him have, but a huge blizzard comes out, and many members of Boston were actually frozen, but there wasn't enough there to follow up to get the kills. But then it comes in. Soup's getting Legion, Lord Krana getting Prosto, Foon booping Yeti, and Krana does get Typhoid. Boston here trying to finish off Foon, and there he goes. And it's going to be a .2 capture. They have 4 minutes to move all the way through the castle. Is Glory doing anything wrong, and do they need to switch anything on this attacking Boston?
Well, I don't know if anything that they switch other than maybe that Zenyatta, only because Zenyatta is useful maybe in other situations, but it's a little too squishy for the way that they're pushing.
Hopefully Legion sees or hears that in the Nevertheless. Maybe he'll switch off after using Transcendence to counter a big ult, but it's going to be Krana getting the kill on Arc, saying, I'm useful. And Alpha does get the kill on Miglet Boy with a trap, who was trying to get away. They're going to go ahead and give up that first corner. Coming out of the second corner. Grab comes out from Glory. Transcendence comes out from Boston. Not allowing anyone to fall to that combo. There's no real combo actually to go with that, so it was more or less hoping that Reinhardt would go forward and do a lot of damage. Now Bob is behind them. This is making Yeti wondering where he's supposed to shield. He tries to shatter into Arc shield. It's not going to be enough, and Prosto's Bob takes him down. Artillotron then finishing off Bob, but Typhoid and Alpha are going to help push back Boston's attack advance this time. And they're continuing to pursue.
Fantastic engages on behalf of LA Glory. They're doing a great job. Now, I wonder, though, obviously this doesn't necessarily have to be a buff, but what if Zenyatta's Transcendence cleared debuffs? We don't really see anything like that yet in Overwatch, but could you imagine how impactful a Transcendence could be if it could also clear crowd control?
I would like that kind of buff, but then I would counter with one of the only ways to kind of follow up on a Grav Barrage that is then Transcendence is to use the grenade, but that's a double kill onto Miglet Boy and Artillotron. Arc does fall down as well to the nuke coming out from Artillotron. But back to the Transcendence. Transcendence on a Grav is almost a guaranteed survival for your team unless the other team is able to get that Ana biogotic grenade to just get rid of your healing. So you'd be the only one left. If I was an Ana, I'd feel a little sad. But I like the idea of maybe figuring out... I almost don't want something to change for Zen. Zen has been the same kit. They have changed his Discord Orb slightly to go with the damage boost from Mercy. And the healing has more or less stayed the same. Shatter comes out. It's going to be shielded by Arc. Counter Shatter from Arc! That's going to be the rest of them down. That's going to be Bob and the rest of LA Glory cleaning up this push from Boston.
That was almost poetic in the way that they cleaned that up. It was beautiful now. I'm definitely seeing LA Glory learning from their mistakes. They're not being as stubborn now. They're just being focused. They're getting those picks. And now Boston Downsizing is having some real trouble dealing with it.
Again, there's ults. I like seeing the Junkrat. He already has another tire alpha on the defending side of LA Glory. Here comes out Rally from the attacking Boston. Here comes out that tire. Tire's going to probably be able to deal a lot of damage to Alpha's tire coming around the side. Is looking for a kill. Does get Soups. Didn't have a personal up in time. They are going to go ahead and retreat. They do have 45 seconds. They're trying to maybe group up and get one more good pick. Foon is actually going to be taken down. Now, if they can push forward on that, that'd be great. But unfortunately, he will be back very quickly with the rest of his team, especially since I'm seeing LA Glory retreat back to that corner. Boston coming again down the middle. Glory actually really low in terms of health right now as they do come up to the payload. There's only 2 ults on the board for either team right now. Transcendence and Lucio ult now online for LA Glory. Transcendence, and here goes out. The Diva is back and remech'd. Lucio ult used on the side of the defending team. Pushing forward, Cronid finds the pick on Arc. A huge dynamite getting several people on fire. And not in the good way. Prosto getting the pick on Miglet Boy. Here goes fire in the hole from Alpha coming around the corner. Triple kill! Louis Yeti and Soups fall into the tire. Bob is on point, finishing off Artillotron. Lord Cronid is getting booped around. Bob gonna get that mech kill. Prosto gonna get Artillotron. Lord Cronid, now they did get very far, but it wasn't enough. They didn't get all the way. And now it's gonna be LA Glory's turn to attack.
I'm gonna have to say that's pretty hard to follow up with the way Boston Downsizing keeps losing these team fights. Now, it could be too little too late. They could learn from their mistakes now, but they're going to have to do so quickly because these next few minutes will determine whether LA Glory brings home that win or we get a Game 5.
Again, this is the throne I mentioned before. This is the armor of Reinhardt's master. This is one of his skins, actually. And it's pretty nice, but you see all the Omnics in front of him that he was able to destroy before he basically died to a fatal wound he received while defending Reinhardt himself. It's one of those... It was a very good short. If you haven't seen it, I recommend. A lot of their shorts for the Overwatch universe is very cool. It's very good. If you haven't read any of the comics, I would suggest that as well, especially since it adds a lot of backstory and a lot of really cool insight to a lot of the voice lines you'll hear while you're waiting for the game to start when there's interaction between characters.
Now, I don't believe you heard me ask you, but if you didn't speak a lick of German and somebody told you that you're going to Eichenwald, what do you think that would mean?
If I didn't understand German, they said I'm going to Eichenwald, I would think they're talking about Lord of the Rings, and I'd imagine it's another place that's next to Isengard.
Well, I was going to say that if I didn't speak German, it's something to do with Walt Disney, so maybe they're going to Disneyland.
Hey, I wouldn't mind Disneyland. Dom Defense on the side of Boston. They're going to be going they are doing triple support again. All these supports are relatively considered off healers. But you have Brigitte, you have Zen, and you have Lucio. Main damage going to be coming out from Miglet Boy and the Zen. Artillotron's going to be doing some work when it comes up close. But they're trying to hold this corner. Arc gets the kill from the Fire Strike onto Miglet Boy. That's going to kind of be the cue for the attacking LA Glory team to push forward on to the point. Alpha getting the pick on Soups as well, and Scurry Lee double kill from above. And Legion does get Yeti. And Artillotron trying to deal with Alpha, who is really low and had to retreat around the corner. But that's a very dominant first push from LA Glory. They're going to go ahead and get this payload started on the first push.
And with that very swift push, LA Glory really shaping up. I feel like we've seen them graduate from stubborn to somewhat flexible on their playstyle.
Alpha on this fair has been absolutely deadly. Finds the pick on Miglet Boy. He had gone on to a Widowmaker to try and deal with it. It was well positioned too, but Alpha's already flanking. Justice raining from above is going to be eaten by D.Va, and Goron is going to finish it off. That is 1-1, but that's one ult down. So more or less the teams are even, 5-5. But they are kind of giving free movement, but they are going to, the defending side of Boston is deciding they want to hold this corner versus make the payload go anywhere else. They're actually slowly backing up. I'm curious, they need to stop the payload. They might be under fire, but too much from this Alpha up in the air. Mega Boy is back, but he is very, very low. He is getting, right now, kind of bodied by Alpha, who then takes him down again. Alpha in the back line has the Discord, but also a Harmony Orb. Is doing a lot of work. And going to be pocketed again by Foon. There, right now, Boston is kind of distracted. Now, Archilotron does get a pick on Prosto. It's a lot of damage. The charge from Yeti onto Arc. Arc does do the counter charge and is able to survive that. Foon getting the res onto Prosto in the process. Soup's getting a boop onto Prosto just after he got back up. Very rude. Just got up from a nap. Shatter comes down from Arc. Gonna knock down Soups. And it's gonna knock Yeti way up into the air, who is almost at his own Shatter. He's probably gonna save it because right now it looks like LA Glory is retreating. And it's going to be a reset for Glory.
Now, LA Glory, they are doing better, but I do want to see them get even better with their playstyle. Now, I don't know if that Pharah is as effective as we'd like it to be now because Miglet is playing that Widow. They should probably switch off as soon as that barrage is done.
Alpha has at least been able to get it. Gets Miglet Boy again! It seems like Alpha is able to find that one pick, make his Pharah useful, because now there's no one except the Pharah, or the D.Va, to deal with the Pharah. And he's continuing to flank. He has the high ground. Archilotron, I would like to see you come up here and maybe contest that, get him off the high ground, get him back into the air to maybe allow maybe Cronid to get some damage. But Shatter comes out from Yeti. He's going to be blocked by Arc. There goes Archilotron to push the Pharah off in the air. Is going to be finished off as well. Arc gets it. Soups. Grab coming out the side of Glory is going to allow Arc to get a swing. Prosto to start shooting grenades in there, and a swing clear is going to let LA Glory get around this last little corner. The Miglet Boy trying to run away is going to be taken off by Alpha again. There's a lot. I'm curious.
Fights are just getting progressively better for LA Glory. Every single time we're seeing them fight, it's just a little cleaner, a little bit tighter in the way that they're executing their plays.
That's 1-1. They did get to the point to stop it, getting that last little tick, and it does look like Boston is getting the upper hand. Nerf this comes out, is not going to get anyone. We do have a Transcendence coming out to keep himself alive. Again, when Zenyatta is using Transcendence, he is invulnerable, but it was on a retreat. He was a little scared, perhaps thought he had an opportunity to push this team forward to continue the attack, but that is one Transcendence down, and now Boston knows it.
The good news is LA Glory will be sitting on 3 ults for the next team fight, and maybe a Sound Barrier and a Transcendence coming out from Boston, but that in itself will not be enough to deter the team.
And we got Alpha here being pocketed by Foon again, but he's getting pressured a little bit better from Miglet Boy and Archilotron. Miglet Boy getting really low, looking to get healed. Still really low on the point of here. Fire in the hole, immediately taken out by Yeti's Fire Strike. Charge, Prosto, double kill with a mine onto Yeti and Soups. Arcs followers to Archilotron. Archilotron trying to deal with Alpha. Transcendence comes out from Lord Cronid. Justice reigns from above, getting Miglet Boy through the Transcendence, who was just out of range. Legion getting Lord Cronid. Louis gonna boop off his Typhoid. Arc getting Archilotron's mech out of the way. And they're going to play stall heroes right now because Arc is just swinging his hammer. Shatter again is going to be shielded, and a counter charge from Arc is going to keep him from being pinned. Instead, they both kind of go side. You see that happen a lot. Both Ryans have kind of just knocked each other in the head and fallen down. It's because they're both charging, and when both charge, they both fail, and they both fall down on the ground and stun themselves. Nerf this comes out from the side of Boston. Is going to find Prosto! Miglet Boy getting the pick on Legion. And Boston is still holding us. They only had just under 4 meters to get the last bit, and they only have 1 minute on the side of LA Glory to get this last little point to the second one so they continue pushing into the castle. What do they need to do here, Rambino?
Well, I don't know if that pharmacy is working out for them. Yes, they are able to pick off the Widow consistently, but you would be better off building your team comp around something that can just push on through. You don't really need a Pharah, especially with D.Va eating up those projectiles.
Again, Alpha getting the pick on Miglet, and they're just start doing a lot of poke damage. Prosto getting Lord Krana, that's 2 down from the defenders. So hopefully we're going to see them maybe push forward. But they're very split, this LA Glory last push. Justice does get Yeti. Arc does get Soups. It seems to be working. Miglet Boy is back, gets a pick onto Foon and Prosto. Prosto does get a double kill with a tire onto Screwy Lou and Artillotron. And it is going to be enough for LA Glory with a pincer attack, despite Miglet Boy getting back, getting 2 picks to kind of maybe even it out. But they are going to get that second point. They're going to be given a minute and 40 seconds extra to get farther. They need to get farther than what Boston did when they were in attack.
Now, if we're going to talk about the way that LA Glory just
consistently. There we go. Go from consistently. You went robotic.
So, LA Glory consistently proving that they are learning from their mistakes. They're doing a fantastic time. Even though Alpha isn't really justifying that Pharah pick in some regards, it's working out because of the way those ults are getting so much value.
And there was value. You saw right there a grab into a Justice. Does get a double kill, and they just started cleaning up a lot of Boston. Can Boston get it back? And the charge from Yeti does get here to start contesting. I would like to see him put his shield up and stay up. He is in a trap. He's going to be taken out by Prosto with another double kill. Shatter coming up from Mark to get Artillotron on the ground to get him out of mech. Mega Boy, he is here. He is trying to stall. It is Zenyatta taken down. Fire in the hole does get Screwy Louie. Alpha gonna get Mega Boy as he gets out of his cryostasis, and it's gonna be LA Glory coming back 3-1, and they are gonna take Eichenwald, and they are gonna take the series against Boston Downsizing with a great last push.
And today's Play the Game brought to you by Miglet Boy as Pharah. Alrighty, let's see what's going to go on here, ladies and gentlemen. He's got the ultimate ready to go. There's the barrage. He's already got the single and the double. Can he get the triple onto the triple? And does get a quad with a penta right behind. Fantastic.
Well done. The play of the game again, not by Alpha, who we saw on Pharah a lot and did do a lot of damage. Got those picks back and forth. It is going to be Miglet Boy who gets that play of the game, saying the Pharah was maybe better played on that side, based on what Blizzard's saying. But that is going, I believe, going to do it. That is map number 4 in favor of LA Glory. What do you think Boston should have done? What were they doing wrong when it came to LA Glory's attack? Because that last one was... I was surprised LA Glory could get it because they really did split up. Half their team kind of went through the castle. The other half came around towards the side of the bridge. How was Boston supposed to deal with that?
Ironically, I believe over time Boston just got more stubborn and refused to swap. And that's okay because sometimes swapping is a bad idea. But if you are losing the team fights that you are trying to negate their pushes, it's probably good that you start switching a little earlier, get that ult charge, and try and push them back with new strategies.
And Miglet Boy was not necessarily missing all of his shots. It's just he was maybe in a position to where the Pharah, Alpha's Pharah, was able to get the pick consistently. The first death that always seemed to happen when they're trying to get to the second point was the Pharah getting the kill onto Miglet Boy on the Widowmaker. So it was a great opener. And the comp again, it's not that... I believe the pick from Alpha was justified by at least getting one pick on a DPS. It was a DPS for DPS trade several times when LA Glory was pushing. And then he would go in with a Justice and try and get 2 for 1, because he would most certainly die by doing Justice, or he would hopefully not die, maybe be backed up by his Mercy, which he was. So Foon was doing a good job of pocketing him in the air. And there was a great plays from a lot of D.Va bombs. I like the May change on the side of Boston, try and stop Glory from getting there, but it was getting picked off too easily, and they were essentially staggered as they kept coming forward. So I liked when Glory got that second point as they were pushing and attacking. They waited until they got around the corner, then they just pushed. They pushed, they found a pick, they got both teams did this. Whenever one of the defending sides lost somebody, the attackers or the other team pushed forward to dominate on top of it, and I'm glad to see that in the OCC. Don't see it enough in ranked play.
I agree. Yes, definitely always beautiful in all regards.
Now I'm going to go ahead and ask, as what I like to do, do you have a certain member of either team? There wasn't much in terms of subbing, but do you have someone that really stuck out to you for Glory and someone that really stuck out to you for Downsizing?
So I did pick on Alpha a lot, and I will say that even though he didn't swap, getting those plays with the Pharah would definitely prove that even if you need to brute force it sometimes, it pays off, and Alpha did that perfectly.
And what do you have for Downsizing?
Oof, Downsizing. I'm gonna have to give it to both the supports.
Now you'd see a lot of the flex support that came in was Miglet Boy, so you're more talking about Lord Cronid and their counterpart.
That also, but Miglet in himself also is doing a fantastic job. Obviously, that Widow wasn't as effective as he'd liked it to been, but he still did a great job nonetheless.
Well done. My pick for Downsizing is going to be the Yeti. There was a lot of back and forth with him and Ark, and I've had several seasons where I got to be a Reinhardt, so I appreciate all his almost evolution between being very defensive and pushing, especially on the Paul, very dominant on the second point, and it was nice to see good shatters from Ark and him. Ark might have gotten a little more on the side of Glory as opposed to Yeti on Downsizing, but I'm going to pick Yeti for that. And over on Glory side, I am going to actually go with Ark. I'm going with both the main tanks because I love seeing their mind games back and forth. The shatters were there. You saw the evolution of, is he going to shatter? Is he going to shield? And the first 3 maps, almost every shatter landed. This last map, they understood each other a lot better, and a lot more shatters were shielded. And so I love those mind games, and I'm giving it to both the main tanks.
No, absolutely, definitely agree with you there. Both tanks for the team proved that they can learn from their mistakes, and that was the most important thing.
Absolutely. Guys, I am Spifftastic Me, and this has been my co-caster, Childish Rambino. You will find our Twitches down below in the description of the OWCC Twitch chat. Rambino, why don't you give your own self a shout out? They will find you there. What are you doing on your channel, and what makes you so special besides your sexy voice and your amazing face?
Well, Spiff, I'll tell you right now, I have what you call a face made for radio. And while I haven't found my niche yet, I am still looking for feedback on what to do, because God knows it's just a cesspool of grab bag of I have no idea what I'm doing my best to make it seem like I am. But in all reality, I have the organization of a Rubik's Cube that has been left in a dryer for too long.
So guys, if you like that kind of character, and I know I do, if you love puns, if you love wit, if you love the sexy voice, go hit a follow. Right down below, you'll find Childish Rambino's Twitch. I am Spifftastic Me. I was your play-by-play. I am trying to stream getting close to full-time. We'll see if that works, but I do stream Saturday through Thursday consistently at 6 Eastern. Right now, I am doing Overwatch on the weekends because I'll be casting. Monday is going to be a random game like Tales of the Borderlands. Tuesdays and Thursdays are party games where I get to play things like Jackbox and whatnot with my viewers. Wednesday is whatever I feel like it. This Wednesday, I am probably going to continue to push through Pillars of Eternity to Deadfire. But if you enjoyed the energy, if you enjoyed the sexy voice from Childish Rambino, remember to hit those follow buttons down below on our own Twitch channels. I have been Spifftastic Me for the OWCC. That this is going to be LA Glory versus Boston Downsizing in favor of LA Glory, 3-1. Hope to see you here tomorrow as I will be casting with Rambino again and my good bro Julik here on this same channel. It'll be the Carolina Cosmic versus the Shanghai Staggered. Hope to see you there. Until then, have a Spifftastic day.